So I got my first green box, my first Rolex, and I'm not sure why it took me so long, but eventually the day is finally here. And I want to talk about that, but also I got it through the grey dealer. So I'm not sure if that counts as getting your first Rolex. I'm not sure if there's a rule where you have to get it through the boutique, but today's video I want to talk about the first Rolex and also the buying experience from the grey dealers. Let's go.
Now, first, let's unbox the watch together. And if you guys are following me on my Instagram, you guys would know what watch it is. But let's unbox it for YouTube. And the watch that I chose is none other than the Rolex Oyster Perpetual in 41 millimeters. This is the reference number 124300. And I chose the one with the green lacquer dial, that Rolex green dial. And to me, the Oyster Perpetual, this watch is the perfect example of simplicity done right. It has no unnecessary complications, no extra flash, just a clean, classic design that just works. Now let's go through the specifications of this watch. This is the reference 124300. The case size is 41 millimeters in diameter. Material is crafted from Oyster steel, a proprietary alloy in the 904L steel family, known for its exceptional resistance to corrosion and ability to maintain a polished finish. The bezel features a smooth, domed bezel, contributing to its sleek and understated aesthetic. You also have 100 meters of water resistance, which is more than you need. Moving on to the dial, the lacquered green dial is achieved through applying multiple layers of lacquer in a controlled environment to ensure a uniform and dust-free finish, resulting in a dial that gleams with depth and brilliance. The hour markers are in 18 karat gold to prevent tarnishing, and it is also filled with chromolite luminescent material for long-lasting blue glow in low light conditions. This watch is powered by the Rolex Caliber 3230, a self-winding mechanical in-house movement with a power reserve of approximately 70 hours and also a precision of -2 plus 2 seconds per day. This watch is also fitted with the iconic Oyster bracelet, and coming from someone who collects mostly Omegas, I think this feature is one of the biggest upgrades that I can feel, and I'll go more into that later. This bracelet also has a comfort extension with an EasyLink of 5mm comfort extension. Now let's talk about why I chose this watch as my first Rolex. I wanted something simple but yet classy. I wanted something subtle but also instantly recognizable. And it may sound weird, but I think this watch is able to achieve that. I also wanted something flexible, something that I can dress it up or even wear it casually. And I just wanted something that I can just pick up and wear it and not worry about if it matches with my outfit. But the main reason why I chose the Oyster Perpetual is mainly because of that lacquered green dial. I think if this color variation was not offered, I would probably look somewhere else in the Rolex catalog for my first Rolex. But that green dial is a thing of beauty. And I think the only other Rolex that I can think of that has that Rolex green on the dial is on the Air King, but that is only on the text. So this watch is the only one that has a full dial color of the Rolex green. And you guys know how much I love a colored dial with a lacquered finish. Also, this hot chocolate costs $18, and I specifically came here for the lighting. So like and subscribe, guys. Even though this watch is considered as an entry-level Rolex, I think the specifications, the features, the proportions and the design, there is nothing entry-level about this watch. From the winding action of the crown, to the feel and fit of the bracelet, everything feels so polished and refined. But if there was one thing that I could critique on this watch, it would probably be the comfort extension. Unlike the light lock on the Submariner, where you can extend or reduce the gap on the bracelet, this one only has an extension of 5mm. So I would say that is the only downside to this watch. But other than that, this watch is quite literally perfect to me. Now moving on to the second part of this video, and that is the reason why I went with buying at the grey market dealers instead of the Rolex boutique. And the reason why I chose with the grey dealers is because I've been to Rolex boutiques a few times. I've even accompanied my friend to acquire his allocation. And personally, from my experience, it is generally not a nice experience. Usually, when it's my first time to a boutique, no matter what brand it is, usually after you leave the boutique, they would follow up with a message to thank you for your visit and look forward to seeing you in the future. And they would follow up with you essentially. But with Rolex boutiques, I've never received a follow up message or anything, even when I have registered my interest, but there's still nothing from them at all. So the times where I accompanied my friends to acquire his allocation, even that experience wasn't that nice. I mean, it felt more like a business transaction more than a memorable experience. There was no sense of celebration or personalization. It was just about getting the watch, paying for it, and leaving. I'm sure there are amazing Rolex sales representatives out there, but I haven't met one yet, which is unfortunate because you guys know how much I love the boutique experience, and that will always be my first choice if I was given the option. Because if you compare brands like Omega or Jaeger-LeCoultre, and if you've watched my videos, I've built relationships with incredible sales associates who truly care about your journey and they become part of your journey. And I've invited them to my wedding. We've exchanged gifts and celebrate different milestones. And it's just a nice thing to have where you have a good relationship with someone from the brand, and it just adds to the experience of your collection. So this brings me to why I chose the grey dealer route, and simply put, it was liberating. Any watch and every watch that you can think of is there. I've tried on APs, Rolex, Pateks, even vintage pieces. Any watch that you want, as long as you have the money for it, you can walk out of that store with a watch in your hand. Now, of course, the trade-off, especially with pieces like Rolex or APs or Pateks, is the premium that you pay for it. So if you want to buy from a grey dealer, timing is an important factor that you have to consider. The Rolex that I got, for the current market value, it is at an all-time lowest. It is only about 2000 plus over retail. So for me, that is acceptable. I do also like the Tiffany blue variation, but that one still trades over double than retail. And to me, that is just unjustified and that is ridiculous. So as much as I like something, it has to make sense to me. But again, if you like what you like and you think the price is okay, then more power to you. The second advice that I would give to someone who's considering buying grey for the first time is to do your research and do not rush, and always buy the dealer. And what that means is to buy from a reputable dealer, one that has a long history and a lot of good reviews. And luckily for us Singaporeans, the local grey dealers here are required to be registered, so that is an extra level of safety and security. Selling of fake goods here is also illegal, and the Singapore government is really good at enforcing these rules. So even though this was my first experience with a grey dealer, and I'll admit I was a bit nervous at first, but after doing my homework and choosing a reputable dealer, the process was seamless. From the moment I walked in, I felt at ease. They were transparent about the pricing, condition, and provenance. They took the time to answer all my questions, and the best part, I walked out with the watch that same day. No hoops to jump through, no waiting list, just straightforward service. And of course, as good as their service is, it will never beat a boutique experience. So maybe one day on this channel, we will get to have that experience. But for now, this is a nice alternative to have. To wrap things up, I'm incredibly happy to have added my first Rolex to my collection. The journey was a bit unconventional, but it worked for me, and I hope sharing it helps others considering their options. If you are debating between boutiques and grey dealers, remember there's no right or wrong way to go about this. Do what feels right for you, your lifestyle, and your priorities. I got the watch that I wanted without waiting, and to be honest, I've enjoyed it ever since the day that I got it, and it hasn't left my wrist a single day. The fact that I got it at the grey dealer instead of the boutique did not affect my enjoyment of the watch in any bit possible.
So, what do you think of my choice? Would you rather go grey or would you rather go boutique? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And with that, if you like this kind of video, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And that is all that I have for you today. I will see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.